This video will be replacing my old video on the complete Getting Your Real Estate License in Ontario YouTube playlist, as the cost to get your real estate license here in Ontario has changed a little bit. Some stuff has been added and other prices have actually decreased, but let's break it down because this is the only place to start if you are serious about getting your real estate license here in Ontario. Just quickly, my name is Callum Moore, eXp Realty real estate broker here in Ontario. If you find these videos helpful, consider liking and subscribing. It means an absolute ton to me, but let's just dive right into it. We'll break this up into 4 different parts, but first on the list is phase 1, pre-registration, essentially the education portion. Second is phase 2, registration, which is licensing, initiation fees, joining RICO, ORIA, CREA, and your local real estate board. After that, I'll super quickly touch on phase 3, which is post-registration. Then stick around to the end and I'll give you a really good simple example of how to make these costs back by selling just one property. First on the list though, phase 1, pre-registration, educational portion. Just quickly to get out of the way, as it is very important, RICO has now allowed 4 different colleges to provide the Ontario Real Estate Salesperson Program. However, it is still all done online. All colleges use the same core curriculum provided by RICO, and 3 of the 4 colleges are the exact same price. All exams, however, are provided by a third-party provider called Mesure Learning. Without going too deep into this, as this video is on the cost itself, but most people watching this will be using a college called Humber Polytechnic. Other options, however, are Algonquin, Fleming, and Career College Group. Humber has been doing this since 2019, and the other 3 colleges only started July 2025. There are going to be some setbacks with the other 3 as far as support, platform bugs, and maybe the biggest issue, volume of students. If there isn't enough students, there's going to be delays. The best part about doing this online is you can move at the pace you desire. We don't want unnecessary delays. Like mentioned, they are all the same price except Career College, which is $645 more, as they have mandatory facilitator review sessions. Not only are they the most expensive, but they also run as a cohort, so you have to wait for start times. Something tells me they're going to change this because it just makes no sense, but we're not going to include them in this particular example. We're not going to include these mandatory facilitator review sessions. Okay, so regardless of your area, you could be in the GTA, you could be in Windsor, you could be in Ottawa, you could actually be a permanent resident or Canadian citizen outside of the country. It doesn't matter to a certain extent which college you choose. They all have the same core curriculum and they all have the same exams. Apart from Career College Group, that is a little more expensive and runs as a cohort, the other 3 are the same. However, I recommend, as mentioned, Humber Polytechnic for now, as it is the best support. They've been doing it the longest. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get into the prices here. To start, you will pay a non-refundable application fee of $125. As you can see on the screen here, you will need a high school diploma or equivalent credential. Most will have this, but if you don't stress. From what I've heard, it's a very simple salesperson program admission exam, and pay an additional $125. I didn't have to take this, of course, so I'm not 100% positive. I don't like to speak on things that I'm 100% positive on, because everything on this channel is what I've done and that's what I teach. That's how I like to do things. However, I have heard from students that it's more or less to make sure you can speak English. So I've heard not too tough. The program itself consists of 7 courses and 6 exams. I'll put these on the screen here, all courses and the prices of each. The 4 courses you see here, and here have additional exams you will pay for and schedule into your study routine. But both these sessions, which are simulation sessions. These are 9 to 5 Zoom sessions with you, fellow students, and 1 or 2 facilitators. I have some great videos on Sims 1 when you get there on that playlist mentioned before. The last course, course 5, which is just $100, has no exam. I'll quick note this as well because I do get this question often. When you are on a website, this is Humber's website. If you click on course 2, for instance, and you'll see this option for courses 2, 3, and 4, you have an option for virtual support on each of these courses, the facilitator review sessions type things that mentioned before. As you can see, it is quite expensive, and I don't personally know anyone that has taken it. Now, of course, Career College Group, they make it mandatory. The other 3 do not. So I don't personally suggest using this extra support, as I've never heard of anyone use it. And when it comes up in our groups, people seem to say don't bother. However, the use of third-party tools for significantly less price of the cost is 100% something I do recommend, and I'll put a video in the cards that covers that. But if we add up all costs of everything on the screen here, we have a $125 application fee followed by $3,650 of e-learning and $480 worth of exams, with a total of $4,255 to get all of the phase 1 pre-registration phase out of the way. Okay, so at this point, phase 1 is all done, and just note you have 2 full years to do that educational portion. However, it can be done at your own pace. I was able to do the entire program in just 4.5 months, and I'll actually put another video in the cards here that shows exactly how I did that. But to each their own, of course. There is no rush. Go at your own pace. I personally suggest putting yourself on a schedule. It's more fun. Time is money. It's valuable to have your real estate license, but to each their own. Next on the list, phase 2 registration, licensing. Just a quick note, you have 1 full year after completing phase 1 to register with RICO. However, most don't take that long, of course. They're very excited and they register right away. Okay, so costs related to phase 2, and bear yourself. There is some big initiation fees, but once we get these out of the way in real estate, a lot of these fees do become quite nominal. First, you'll need a police background check, also referred to a criminal record check, at $19.99. RICO licensing fee has dropped in April 2023. It will be $306 plus 50, so $356. This is actually a biannual fee of $306. That 50 is actually their small initiation fee. E&O insurance, this is paid annually and is prorated to September, so it will depend on which time you join, but expect to pay $500 annual for this, and it does cover pretty good insurance for us as registrants. OREA health insurance, $658.88, also prorated. Next is a big one, and we'll use my area of Waterloo Region, but it's the real estate board initiation fee, which will be the highest of the bunch. My area is $1,000, but this will differ a little depending on where you are in Ontario. Maybe do the research, see how much yours is. Could be higher, could be less. Below that, I'll put your local real estate board monthly fee, as you'll be paying that right away. Again, mine is $98.88. Be prepared to pay anything around $100 for that. Korea and OREA will have their initiation fees of $200 each, and their annual dues of $310 and $110. All of these fees here will give you a really good idea, and again, give or take depending on your area. But if we add up everything here, we have $3,453.75 for phase 2 registration. Add them both together, phase 1 plus phase 2, and we have a total for $7,708.75 to officially get your real estate license here in Ontario and be registered with RICO. Okay, next on the list, super quickly, there is a phase 3 called post-registration. However, you have 2 years to completely do this, right? So I won't consider it part of getting your license, as you could literally do this 23 months after registration. It is more e-learning, but fortunately at this time, there is no exams. It consists of 1 compliance course of $345, then a choice of any 2 electives at $155. I just wanted you to know that, of course, something I would like to know, but again, I'm not going to include it in getting your license, as you can do it literally 23, almost 24 months later. Okay, let's move on to a bit more of the fun stuff here, how much we can get back by doing 1 sale once licensed. So for this example, let's use my area of Waterloo Region here in Ontario at the time of this video. Average price of any home, $789,639. We'll round that to $790. And again, this will be different depending on your area. For example, GTA average price point is over $1 million. The higher the price point, the higher the commission. So keep that in mind. For this example, I'm going to use a commission of 2.5% and a brokerage split of 80-20. Brokerage splits range from 50% all the way to 100%. My brokerage is an 80-20 split. After 4 or 5 sales, you move to 100% commission split. So we're going to be conservative. We're going to use 80% for this example, but just know you can get to 100 pretty fast. If you sold 1 property, 1 buy or sell at $790,000 with a commission of 2.5%, you would make $19,750. 80% goes to you in this hypothetical example. That is $15,800. This is selling just 1 property once licensed. For fun, let's minus that getting your license fee of $7,708.75, and we are $8,091.25 in the green. This is key information to know, that you can literally make 1 sale after being licensed and come out on top. I do these videos because I get questions about this stuff, and I love beginnings. I love a fresh start. This channel is exactly for that. I've said it before, this is your one-stop shop for getting your license, joining a brokerage, learning how to do the job, growing your brand, getting leads, and getting to your first 120,000 plus in your first year. I really hope this video helped, guys, and I can help with every step of the way. If you are at the beginning, phase 1, pre-registration right now, and you are looking for that additional support to pass these exams fast and efficient, look to the Exam Master mini courses in the description below. It's everything I wish I had before every exam. It's mini notes, mini quizzes, my exact fundamentals I used to pass all exams first try and in 4.5 months, and I also break down on video the 4 types of questions you will see in the exams. Those links as well in the description below are actually value links for the time being for the YouTube family. If you have any questions related to anything, Ontario real estate, getting your license, the beginning stages, you can DM, email, comment on this video. I get back to everyone. My name is Callum Moore, eXp Realty real estate broker here in Ontario. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.